nerderotic.com.
Welcome back to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler, and I am live in North County, San Diego, California, or Clownifornia, shall we say. And I'm out of focus. God dang it, I'm out of focus. What are we going to do now? Well, I could probably just deactivate the damn camera and then activate it again. That usually helps, or not. We'll see if it just gets into focus. In the meantime, we'll just say hello and let some people roll in. It'll probably work itself out eventually. Stupid camera. Freaking brios. Let's see who's here. I know, pixelated, right? No, it's not pixelated. It's out of focus. And it's been doing this for a while now. And it's got to do with the light. And it has to do this right now. And it usually goes right back to it. Let's just let it think about that for a minute. And I'll say hello to some people. Roger the Shrubber. Judicon. Kildar 000. Phoenix Tangent. Midnight's Edge After Dark. What's up, Tom? Joe Bag of Donuts. Criticized the Craze. Golden Mongoose. Ledger Long Last Name. Jennifer Cisco, care for a jelly baby. Oh, we've got some Doctor Who to talk about. Eric Sullivan, August Stevenson, Super Strike 7 US. Perry Chan is here. Eric K with his wrench. Lord Thoth, Tom's Vinyl Shack, Professor Thascalus. Hello, Master. And Tomcat. What the hell is up, everybody? It looks like I'm back in focus. Well, it kind of reflects my mind. So, didn't live stream for the last couple of days. Couldn't do the bagging and boarding and chatting with Az because he's not feeling good. So I decided to take that opportunity to work on The Office some more. No, it is not done. Otherwise, you'd be able to see it. And yeah, it's a little dark right now, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Something tragic happened, though. So tragic. So tragic. My Conan melted. Because he's got the Conan, the 1/6 scale. It's a bootleg, but it has a flesh body, and it's really kind of weird to touch. Well, it took a little trip down Central California, and I forgot it was in that box. I meant to take it with me in my car, and it melted. It's not a pretty sight. So I'm bummed. I'll have to find another body. And those fleshy, muscly bodies are very weird to touch. Some people might like it. I don't know. A lot of people in Hollywood might like it. That's for sure. I just found that out while I was doing that, setting up my office yesterday. So we have a lot to talk about. Hollywood continues to open their mouth and make things worse for themselves. And now any criticism of Hollywood, it was a microcosm with Star Wars and Doctor Who and Star Trek of the overall problem in Hollywood. And now, instead of these problems affecting specific franchises, it's now affecting the industry as a whole. And here we are, perfectly placed, the Fandom Menace. The Fandom Menace is also going to do some good today. So, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. At least you already have. And I thank you for that, because We got to GoFundMe to talk about it. I usually don't talk about these things, but it's for a character that we all loved if you're a Battlestar Galactica fan, and we'll get to that in just a moment. We're also going to talk about Marvel delaying its entire schedule. Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? It doesn't matter. It's done. It's made. The decision is made, so it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's bad. It's very bad. It's good that they did it, and everybody's saying, well, it's the right thing to do, looking out for the people. They're looking out for their bottom line. Believe me, Disney is begging Anaheim Governor Newsom, who is currently being recalled. I don't know how successful it's going to be, but they're begging him to reopen Disneyland right now. So please, with the heartfelt Disney, and let's not forget Mulan. Let's not. Also, we have to talk about why our heroes are failing. I know the answer. You know the answer. But there's people who actually watch this live stream who don't like me, who don't like the Fandom Menace. But they watch every second. So thanks. That's all I got to say is thanks. And I'm glad you're here because we have some things to talk about that I can lay down why it's pretty easy why this stuff is failing. It's pretty easy. Az did a video on a good example of it earlier today. Go check it out after this live stream when talking about the Sherlock Holmes YA novel with Henry Cavill, their adaptation, and the approach they took the marketing approach. And the overall marketing approach from Hollywood, the divisive marketing approach. And apparently it's been working for Hollywood because they've been doing it for so long, but it's doing irreversible damage that we're already seeing in other forms of entertainment. And we will discuss that too, why our heroes are failing. We're also going to talk about Star Trek rumors and Star Wars rumors. We're going to talk about the rumors. We're going to talk about the people who bring you those rumors. We're going to talk about why we talk about rumors and why we can talk about whatever the hell we want on this platform. We're also going to talk about YouTube and what could be coming down with this new age restriction stuff. I maybe I'm dumb, not too worried about it on this channel, except for maybe a couple of videos. But it's clear what they're doing, and we will discuss that as well. Mama Susan, don't do it, Mama Susan. You got my digits. Call me. Also, yeah, I was kicked off Twitter for a little while. I have no idea why. I have no idea. I was locked out and I'm back. I just checked and I was back, but I was locked out for a couple hours. And this is the first time that's ever happened to me for anything. And I posted a tweet criticizing Hellstrom, the show Hellstrom. It's a valid criticism, and we'll discuss why. I mean, it's the best example of why Hollywood is just dumb and where trends go to die. I hate to disagree with Robert Meyer Burnett, who I respect. Occasionally, Hollywood does start a trend. Not Hollywood. Occasionally, a creative force or a singular person creates a trend. A George Lucas, a Steven Spielberg. That is one in a gazillion. And usually, Hollywood just tries to copy what's already been copied, and it just goes to die. They are the end users. So we'll get to that. And I could argue that while Star Wars was so wholly original, it tapped into a fandom that had already been created by other franchises. So let's start out with the good. Shall we start out with, it's horrible. Michael Hogan, who played Colonel Ty in Battlestar Galactica, one of my favorite all-time TV shows. I haven't watched an episode in quite some time, but I watched the entire series all the way through 6 or 7 times. I own it. I own a bunch of action figures. I was all about this show when it came out. And if you think about it, this show was probably arguably one of the biggest shows in the country. I can't say the world, but the country. And it was on Sci-Fi. God, think about that. Because we used to respect sci-fi. Sci-fi used to be something respectable. Now it's siffy. Now it's crap. And it's hard to believe that they had a show and they still wanted to cut it out early. And that's why they had to kind of rush that ending. And Ronald Moore wanted to end it on his own terms. It should have probably gone 5 seasons. Still, it was a masterpiece. I know a lot of people don't like the ending. I thought the ending was fine, although I predicted the ending. But it's fine. I thought it was a solid show. It had weak episodes like all shows do, especially towards the end, but still, I remember watching it, having little watch parties at my shop. We had a good time. So my favorite character was Colonel Ty. Absolute favorite character. Michael Hogan killed that character. It was freaking brilliant. And he unfortunately had a horrible accident that has left him paralyzed on half of his body, and they have to refit his entire house to accommodate him. I don't know. I'm ignorant to the healthcare system in Canada, so I'm not going to make any remarks about it at all. No politics on this one. I just know that Canada, America, if you have to refit your house for somebody who's paralyzed, that's insane amounts of money. And yes, this guy was a star in a lot of TV shows, but he should have been an A-list star, but he wasn't an A-list star. So I doubt he made A-list money. And not every actor, actually very few actors make a lot of money. I know what a lot of them make, and it's not very much. Your average trash collector makes a lot more than your average actor. A lot more. So he has a GoFundMe up, and it has made, let's see if I want to get to the right. Let's get to the right one here. There we go. So I will link this in the description. I'm sure Eric K is already way on top of it. And if you could at least, if you can't give financially, because a lot of us, are out of work. A lot of us have lost our businesses. I totally understand that. If you could just share this, that would help too. So here is the GoFundMe. Just show support, show some love. I called on the Fandom Menace on Twitter, and I know there's author Stephen Walton, Doomcock. There's a lot of big Battlestar Galactica fans out there who probably already shared this. I've already donated, and I will be donating, let's say, half of what I make on this show to this GoFundMe. Okay. I will be fully transparent about it. I will blast it on Twitter, on Facebook when I donate. And this time I am not going to wait until YouTube payday the next month, which is what I usually do. It takes about a day. We'll say tomorrow morning, I'll make the donation and I'll show everybody. Thanks everyone who has and who shared and everything. This has got to be impossibly hard on them. Yeah, $234,000 is a lot of money, but to refit your house is, and I don't know what their house is, and I don't know what, construction costs in Canada. If it's anything like San Francisco with unions and stuff, it's a lot. So believe it or not, they're probably going to need more money than that. And, Michael Hogan, again, my favorite character in Battlestar Galactica. And if you can do something, cool. If you can't, cool. I wanted to give this a shout out. I hope he, God, it sounds bad, but I hope he recovers and lives a long old life with his family and stuff. So hail Michael Hogan. And thanks for listening to that, folks. I appreciate it. All right. Let's give Hollywood a little help. So I did a video a couple days ago about the Emmys ratings crashing. The NFL ratings are crashing. The NBA. Some games are worse than others. And I used to be a big old sports ball fan. I was. I can't say I was ever the biggest NBA or NHL fan, but I was a huge Major League Baseball and football fan my entire life. I followed two very shitty teams called the Padres and the Chargers. The Chargers have been ripped out of San Diego, and I haven't watched a second of NFL since, and boy, I don't miss it. Under bad circumstances, I've had good timing. I relapsed and had to sell my comic store, and then the comic industry went to shit. Turned out kind of okay in the long run. And then my team got ripped out of San Diego, and then they went to LA, and then the NFL went to shit. So it turned out okay in the long run. It's very easy to quit these things. I thought it would be hard because, the Chargers were as big to me as Star Wars was, as Star Trek, as Doctor Who. They were a part of my life. They were the one thing my dad and I connected on. Entertainment. Entertainment brings us together. It's our escapism. We all have stories of sitting down with our kids or our dad or our aunt and uncle or our guardians or our best friends. In hard times, sitting down, watching some Star Trek. We all have that episode. We all have that go-to escape, for nerds anyway. We all have that go-to show or movie that's our happy place. That's our pure escapism. Good times, bad. You're bored. You just want to fire something up. It's just something that's reliable. It's there. And this is what nerddom was built on. It was not built on, just kumbaya all the time. It was arguing about these things and arguing about characters. Then, of course, it got politicized over the last partisan. That's what it turned into. Yes, there's always been politics. There's always been allegory. There's always been messages. And I don't know how many times we need to say it. Star Trek was a show for everyone. Republicans, Democrats, anarchists, communists, super intelligent shades of the color blue. Everybody loves Star Trek and Doctor Who. But then something changed. And then only a very small group started liking them, right? So that's what Hollywood was making these comic books for and these shows for over the last 4 years, over bad data, or more importantly, data they wanted to believe. I remember back in 2015, I was talking to an artist friend of mine. He's a nice guy. And at the time, we didn't know what was going to come down. So that Facebook poll came out that 50% of women are interested in comics, and it was worded badly, and there was no real data behind it. But man, did they run with that. And very similar things happened with Hollywood. They saw the female audience as untapped potential. Sorry. That's what they say, not me. Their words. And which was entirely untrue, because the last time I checked, women have always gone to movies. But they wanted to start making more movies for women. Great. Awesome. Brilliant. No problem. Here's the problem. They're not making them. I don't know what women they're making films for. Hollywood is trying to monetize their apology. Time's Up is not about having more women starring in a film or, using whatever. I think Andre pronounces it better than I do, but it's the Bechdel test. And it's women not needing men. Well, that's a boring story when it's told over and over and over again. And then when you try to inject that story where it flat out doesn't belong in what started out as, I would say, a male-oriented entertainment, which is comics, which is science fiction. And then instead of just doing things naturally, egalitarian, men and women working together, it's straight up, we're going to just have women taking over. And these shows are largely written by men. There isn't any thought put into it. There's no character behind any of these actors who are playing these just sheets of paper, these blank walls. They're the color beige. It's a warm glass of water. There's nothing to any of these characters at all. It's just, we're going to make them awesome. We're going to put them in a story, and you should enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, you're an ist or a phobe. We've been talking about this over and over and over and over again. And while a lot of these shows lasted a lot longer than I thought they would, it was because they benefited from two things: the best economy in our lifetime and the streaming wars, which are over, by the way. They're flat out over. So you can have 5 seasons of Supergirl with eroding ratings because it had a pretty solid audience. It was a revenue stream, and you can just fit that in with the big old pie. Now they're starting to count their beans, and you're going to see a lot more of this because they can't afford these little experiments anymore. Now, they might continue to try. They might just make less. They're still going to fail. They're always going to fail because nobody wants to hear this story. No one wants to see this story because it's not a story. And the best example is Hellstrom. Hellstrom, they talked about it today on Twitter. They put out a tweet. And my tweet was, I'll try to go off of memory here. So let's make Son of Satan. There's a comic book called Son of Satan. It's about the son of Satan, Damien Hellstrom, who studied to be a priest, found out he was the son of Satan, has a sister named Satana. Okay. So he becomes a superhero to fight his dad, Satan. He's got a big pentagram on his chest. You see, I used to wear the shirt all the time. It's one of my favorite characters. It's ridiculous. And it's one of my favorite characters. He's got a pitchfork that fires like hellfire. And it's a fire. It's the same fire that Johnny Blaze. So it like burns your soul, man. So here's the pitch for Hellstrom from Hollywood. Who knows better? You know, creator of Quibi. All right, here we go. We got a comic book. It wasn't very popular, but we've been able to take popular things or unpopular things or you know, marginally popular things and make them popular, like Iron Man. So let's do this. Let's adapt Son of Satan, but remove Satan, and we'll replace him with a mom. Then we'll take his sister, Satana, which was a comic character that I read, but wasn't as popular. Not a lot of people know about her. That's Damien's sister. We'll give her mostly the starring role. And by the way, we'll call her Anna. She's not called Satana anymore because we're removing all religion from this as well. And instead of Damien being the son of Satan, he's the son of a serial killer mom with some powers. And instead of a priest, we're going to make him an ethics professor. So when you have all this, you don't have Son of Satan. I don't know what the fuck you have anymore. But that's Hollywood. That's what they do. And the reason they did that, religion, patriarchy. They're like, oh, we can't do this. It's religious. And Satan, patriarchy. Wait a minute, though. He's evil. Still patriarchy. It's a position of power. We have to show all women in positions of power now, even if it's bad power. Okay, I guess that's progress. But that being said, it's not the comic anymore. I don't know what the fuck it is anymore. It's Buffy like whatever. It's, you know, I don't know if the show will be good or not, but it's not Son of Satan. And that's Hollywood. With Doctor Who, with Supergirl, all story decisions are now made to avoid things. Wow, that's great for creativity. You're self-editing all the time now to not favor the patriarchy. And now we want to make things a matriarchy instead of egalitarian, instead of men and women working together, which would be fine. But equality is now ist, and I can't keep track these days, and I don't. And I won't even fucking bother. But I saw that did trigger me a little bit this morning. And with the Emmys ratings, we're going to go down anyway. All right. I mean, and I watched it. So there was no crowd. All the glitz and glam was, well, they tried, that cringe scene where, Jim, I forgot the comedian's name, but he was forcing Jimmy Kimmel to repeat BLM. I didn't even want to discuss that in my video. It was so bad. It was so cringe. And again, the ratings were going to go down anyway. But if you looked at the show compared to just 3 years ago, it's down over 50%. I think that is a sign. It's a sign of things to come. I pulled up an article in my video. I didn't go over it. I might go over it today on Hollywood being very worried about movie theaters and people not going to them. And I can tell you right now why they're not going to them. You scared the shit out of people and they don't want to go to movies. And yes, you, Hollywood, because you own ABC, you own CBS, you own NBC. You've been scaring the crap out of people. I'm starting to see here more people at the gym. The gym was damn near crowded today, which was good, but it's taken like not a month, take 2 weeks for people to kind of, maybe get the word, maybe feel more comfortable. And you're going to be fine if you practice your social distancing and you put your mask on. You're going to be fine, and clean your equipment and be careful. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. But it's going to take a year. It's going to take a year, and that's why Marvel delayed their slate. Is it going to help? No, it's going to hurt Marvel. The momentum's broken, and we'll get into that. Let's get into a couple questions here. Man, it's been a while since I did a nooner. Feels like forever since I live stream. Kimmel can, yeah. By the way, Kimmel doesn't get canceled. And I guess that's good. I'm still waiting for ABC to rehire Roseanne Barr, because that will be the consistent thing to do, considering people have done worse, far worse, Ezra Miller and Miss Depp, former Miss Depp, and they're still working. I guess all Roseanne should do is say she's a member of the alphabet community, and they probably hire her back immediately. That's what I would suggest. But yeah, Jimmy Kimmel had a summer off to spend with his family after we were all reminded of his past comedic discretions, which I personally don't have a problem with. You can always see, if you're offended by something, you can do this thing called turning it off. I don't like all comedy, and I just don't watch. I don't, this whole mentality of I don't like something, it shouldn't exist, which has been allowed, which Hollywood has spurned on and rooted on, is now coming to bite them in the ass. And I'm not sorry. So I don't want to see people get canceled, but if there's some consequences by the very people who have been spurning shit on, like J.K. Rowling is getting it right now. She created the problem. She really did. But it's kind of nice to see her slowly come over to the side of common sense. We'll see if she fully comes over there, but she, billions of dollars can help, with the whole I don't give a fuck department. So Joshua Samageo, welcome to the Jaloja level. I appreciate you being here. Culture Casino and Jake D, thank you for the phallic unicorns for $1.49 each. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about today. Lady Greymaster, if you're out there, if you could send me the link to Mike Christian, his Twitter, with that thread, or maybe you already did, that thread for YouTube. That is a problem. The age restriction thing that's coming down. We were all worried something like this would happen. We all knew something like this would happen. Remember 2019, we thought, man, it's going to be crazy next year. None of us knew how crazy it would be. And we still have a little over a month to go. And I was, YouTube's honestly been kind of quiet. We had COPA at the earlier this year. That ended up not affecting anyone. We've had a couple of rounds of demonetizations. We've had Leafy getting canceled, some other people getting canceled off the platform, which sucks. We just had a weird couple of weeks on YouTube, which seems to have corrected itself. And now we get the news that they are going to age restrict a lot more content. In other words, if you're reporting on the news, you're going to get age restricted. Now, if you're not aware, if you're just a casual YouTube viewer, if you're out there and you are watching this and you don't have a YouTube account, you're watching it on some third-party site or whatever, welcome, thank you. You're probably going to have to sign up to YouTube at this point. Jeremy from The Quartering did a video. I agree. If you want to see your favorite YouTuber, especially if they're reporting the news, you're going to have to sign up for YouTube and subscribe to that channel and pay attention, because YouTube is not going, if it gets age restricted, it'll be blocked on third-party websites. You'll have to go to YouTube to see it, and it won't share it anywhere. They're basically going to hide it. They're going to hide it. And I hope I'm wrong about this. I always want to give YouTube the benefit of the doubt. While they do some strange things and I don't love all of it, I do believe right now we're still able to say what we want to say. YouTube, a lot of stuff gets by, and not everything is great. There are certainly things that do not belong here, and we all know what they are. But as far as reporting the news, if it's okay for CBS and NBC and all the other alphabet networks, it should be okay for Tim Pool or Jeremy over at The Quartering and on his political channel, Midwestly, or Jeremy with D-Day Cobra. And that would provide that much needed balance that's not anywhere else. And listen, they're just guys with opinions. That's all they are. So I know like Jeremy wouldn't say he's reporting any news. Or, I don't know about Midwestly either. I think it's editorial, which should be allowed, which is allowed everywhere else. Age restricted. Now, all of a sudden, we want to worry about the kids. Well, let me tell you, I've got a kid, and they hear about this stuff in school all day. They hear about unconscious bias. They hear about white privilege. They hear about critical race theory. Oh, yeah. They hear about all that stuff. You see, my kid is still connected to the San Francisco school curriculum online. We're working on changing that. But, they're hearing all about the news, all about the current events. Their teachers are happy to talk to them about that constantly. So I don't know. Honestly, in some cases, I think I'd rather have my kid hear it from Tim Pool. In a lot of cases. All cases. I'm going to be honest with you, all cases. So I hope they don't do something stupid, and we'll find out. And what happens is when they start something new with their AI and they roll it out, it's a complete crap show. And then the AI has to learn, and it takes a month, 2 months, and you have to fight this stuff. A lot of people, when they get demonetized, they don't fight it. Well, the AI is not going to learn unless you fight it. So you need to fight it every single time, especially if you believe that you've been taken down for the wrong reasons. And that you will be. Of course, there's crap out there again, but Tim Pool reporting the news and giving his opinion or not giving his opinion, seeing both sides of the story, should not be age restricted at all. But it probably will. And I'm guessing they won't age restrict what Jeremy said in his video, any of these music videos that are hard rated R that are on this platform. I've accidentally found horrible stuff on this platform. Stuff you expect to see on like the hub. Julia Child will be the new doctor. Nah, kidding. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Culture Casino for $2. Jodie Whittaker said that her family raised her as gender neutral. Then how is she a feminist? I don't know. These are things I don't know. Bearded Warrior for £5. I don't know if you have heard, but a company here in the UK called Uncle Ben's has bended the knee and is changing their name due to racism. Yeah. I haven't heard, but I'm not surprised. All right. First article of the day. Do we want to trigger the No, we'll wait till later to do that. Let's check out this one. Let's start out with Marvel delayed. I think that's a good one to start. So Hollywood is falling apart, and it's gonna sound like everything is fine, but it's not. They're already counting the beans. You saw Supergirl get canceled. We'll discuss that in a little bit when we round our way back to Doctor Who. And Marvel delays its slate for an entire year. And this is where we talk about momentum. Even the best-selling, most popular thing in the world gets hurt by breaking its momentum. I saw it 100 times at the comic shop. A good example would be The Ultimates, a comic by Mark Millar and Brian Hitch, one of the most popular comic books probably ever at my store. Sold hundreds of copies each time it came out. It was an alternate universe version of the Avengers. It was a much darker look. Hulk ate people. It was that dark. At the time, nihilism was kind of in, and it was fun, and I liked it, and it was a different approach. Marvel didn't do the Elseworld stuff either, like DC did, so it was fun. But that book, because Brian Hitch is very slow, very, very slow, the book was delayed. So while it was the most popular book, the sales eroded as it went out. If it came out on time, the sales would have gone up as the book came out, but the book was delayed a year at some points. So it lost money. It still made money, but it lost a lot of potential customers by being delayed. This is going to devastate the MCU, not just kind of hurt it, devastate it. Now, before I get started, I should mention that 40% of you, no, I'm just kidding. I did watch the WandaVision trailer and I thought it looked good. I think everybody thought it looked good. It looked very cool. It looked very free of identity politics. It looked very core Marvel universe, and it looked weird and fun and holy shit. Yes. Now, we haven't seen the show yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually looking forward to the show. I will review it. I think Paul Bettany's vision is great, and I think it could be good, and maybe it's a step in the right direction. But you have one WandaVision, and then you have a Black Widow and the Eternals. And, oh, by the way, they're going to be introducing possibly Miss Marvel in either WandaVision or probably Doctor Strange 2. WandaVision's supposed to lead into Doctor Strange 2, which I'm looking forward to because it's directed by Sam Raimi. But I'm not looking forward to Black Widow. And Eternals, haven't seen a damn thing about it. I know a couple of guys are going to make out. That's about it. I know the director of the film has a little more experience than the director for Black Widow, but I don't know how much Jack Kirby experience. And Eternals should be a Jack Kirby fest. The thing is, they're not the sexiest films. Black Widow and Eternals. You got a team that is a deep cut for Marvel. You have a character that should have had a movie years ago. You have a year break. You have Disney, I can't even say acting the fool, showing their true colors over the last few months. You have a lot of people from Disney being very divisive. You have Mark Ruffalo running his mouth out there. I mean, there's just a lot of factors that are bad, and you won't have as many movie theaters to open back up into. So everything's delayed another year. And then one of the films after that is Shang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu, which was a decent comic. I read it mainly for the art. The art in that comic was brilliant. But I doubt very many people have heard of this character. And this is another character, just like Black Widow, that should have a hard rated R rating, and filled with violence and sex, which they're not going to make. So it's going to be a PG quippy Master of Kung Fu. Well, that's not going to be fun. Then we finally get Doctor Strange, which should be great if they don't make it the Scarlet Witch film. You know, that's such a weird pairing, by the way. This is loose. And then you have time. And then you have tastes changing, trends changing. I'm not going to say we hit superhero fatigue. I think superheroes probably could have run, I'm not going to say forever, but a couple decades, 3 decades, sure. If you kept renewing it, making it interesting, I think DC would be important, and because I think people will get tired of Marvel and they'll want to jump ship to DC. So if DC takes advantage of that, it'll be fine. The problem is Hollywood as a whole is pissing a lot of people off right now. So you have that factor. You have the coof. You have not enough theaters to open back into. They're bleeding money right now. And celebrity, the cult of celebrity is dead. So, and your main characters are gone. So what are you rooting for? What are we leading up to? We have Doctor Strange, which is a core great character. And then we have Master of Kung Fu. That's not going to interest a lot of people. Marvel probably would have been able to get away with that if they came out with the film a couple of years ago. But they are they aren't starting from scratch. but they are definitely behind the 8 ball at this point in time. And I don't know if they can get back out from it. And we'll find out. And the best laid plans, they can make all the plans they want. I think it's one film at a time right now. And as much trouble as Disney's in, listen, we have been paying for them, by the way. You and I have been supporting them while their employees are rooting on all the rioting and looting. You and I have been bailing them out, the ones who are working right now. Now, I don't mind bailing out my fellow citizen who was out of a job, whose businesses burned down. Happy to do it. Happy to do it. Bailing out pretend, I don't know. The caterers, the truckers, the costume designers, I guess I don't have a problem doing that too. But if they're also not out there telling half the country that they're demons, that they're racists, that we need to end. What is it? What do they call it? Well, I mean, basically, we live in a country based on WS. And it's always been that way. And the middle class is WS. And wanting to get up and go to work is WS. It's all WS now. Everything's bad. It needs to be torn down. And we're seeing that in our stories, in our mythology, too. That needs to be torn down. And now we can't tell a basic superhero story unless they add certain things to it. So even Doctor Strange, directed by the great Sam Raimi, needed Scarlet Witch. Why? Why not Moondragon? So we have this hope that things are going to turn around. Like we'll get, our franchises will come back. I don't have that hope. Maybe a decade down the road, but I'm gonna repeat a Doctor Who rumor I told earlier, and the thought process behind this rumor, and it's the thought process of Hollywood, which Hollywood collectively is dumb. All right, they could only think about a couple of things at a time, and right now it's completely woke. So we get woke storytelling, and we get the woke thought process, which is, all right, whatever we need to do, we need to make it less white, less straight. No, we can't be heteronormative. And we can't tell the hero's journey because that's the patriarchy, blah, 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 blah. And now the consequences are starting to show. They are starting to show. So, this absolutely terrifies Marvel right now. Yes, it's the right thing to do. But they've had a bad year. Of course, there was the Chadwick Boseman thing, which is awful. It's tragedy. And Black Panther should, in my opinion, probably should have led the Avengers. If you needed to have a leader, I would take Black Panther over Carl Danvers any day. Any day. Black Widow and West Side Story. Oh, another remake. Eternals postponed release dates. Disney has postponed the release of fall blockbusters such as Marvel's Black Widow, Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Steven Spielberg is remaking West Side Story. Ugh. Just retire, dude. Retire with your 20 adopted kids. Maybe pay attention to them a little more and they won't end up in the adult film industry, which is an honest living, I guess. And Kenneth Branagh's Death on the Nile by several months. The results are bad news for the exhibition in the industry who had expected the animated family film to either move to a later perch or get released on Disney+. The move sets off a cascade of distribution shifts that will upend the theatrical landscape for months. Other Marvel releases, such as Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, I can't even say The Master of Kung Fu, Jesus, and Eternals, will all debut deeper into 2021. Disney release date shifts all but guarantee the box office revenues this year will reach a nadir. Analysts have already projected the domestic grosses would decline between 70 and 80% due to the pandemic. And you know why they're declining? Obviously, theaters aren't open. They're not open in California and New York, in particular, California. And Gavin Newsom has kept them shut down. I don't know if they're opening back up now. I honestly haven't checked. They might be starting to open. but California's been shut down for a long, long time. And we all know the fix is in at this point. Again, I was willing to play good citizen for the first month. I believe this. I don't believe it's a hoax or anything like that. Never believed that. Never said that. It is real. It's a thing. It's been over exaggerated. And if we all work together at one point, we probably could have come up with a solution, but it came at an election year and it screwed everyone. And now it's screwing Hollywood. And I hope we aren't bailing them out for long. Sorry to say, as far as essential work goes, not so sure. And, a few months, sure. Next year. Remember when they were floating that out there? Like, oh, it's going to be next year. People are going, there is rumors of a second lockdown coming to California. I don't know how people are going to respond. I actually do know how people are going to respond to that. Not well. I'm not sure if they're going to listen or not. I know what my answer is going to be. Black Widow starring Scarlett Johansson was set to debut on November 6th at a date that started to look increasingly unlikely as movie theaters on the coast remain closed. Variety previously reported that the studio was eyeing a new time to unveil the film on the big screen after the disappointing performance of Chris Nolan's Tenet in the U.S. and the delay of Wonder Woman 1984. Black Widow is now going to open on May 7th, 2021, after she had been dead for 2 years. Not just one, 2. Yeah. There's a lot of factors going into the problems with Marvel. And all the MCU fans out there, listen, I hope it's good. I hope it turns around. I hope the films are just entertaining superhero films, not filled with identity politics. But we're already seeing stupid decisions get made before we even get to the identity politics. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, for example. They can't call it the Master of Kung Fu. Probably a rights issue. I don't know. But when you see this and Hellstrom, you notice that the heroes don't wear costumes that much, and their costumes aren't looking like their classic costumes. They're not even making an attempt to have it look like the source material. It's starting to become Disney-fied as the MCU, as all things do. This happened to Pixar too. It's going to happen to Star Wars if it hasn't happened already, if it's still alive, and we'll discuss those Mandalorian things. So we have that, and then they're going to get filled with identity politics, which is going to piss people off. Due to the interconnected nature of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Black Widow's move shifted back other installments in the superhero franchise. Eternals, a comic book adventure about superpowered alien race, will debut on November 5th, 2021. Now, why can't they release Eternals first? Does something happen in Black Widow that has to take place before the Eternals? Interesting. Or maybe not. It was previously dated for February 12th, 2021. Chloe Zhao directed the film, which stars Angelina Jolie and some people. Nanjiani endorsed the move on Twitter, saying Marvel made the right and responsible decision. Well, thank God the guy from Silicon Valley has endorsed the decision to delay the film so they make the most possible money. He says, I can't tell people to go to a movie theater until I feel safe going to one. Take care of yourselves. I'll promise it'll be worth the wait. I'll go to a movie theater. I'm not going to tell you what to do ever, but I would go to a movie theater tomorrow. I've known people who've gone to the movies and not gotten sick. They're in this chat right now. Jake D. But okay. I mean, I wouldn't want to suggest there's like a narrative that people are going to stick to, right or wrong. I wouldn't dream of bringing up partisanship in this as like the motivation behind moving things back. Bottom line, partisanship. Nah, don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Redonkulous. So look, a bunch of movies are delayed till next year. Let's see. Am I going to watch any of these? Everybody's talking about Jamie. No. The Kingsman. No. Raya, the Last Dragon. I don't know. Bob's Burgers. I don't know. Ron's Gone Wrong. No. Black Widow. No. Actually, no. Probably gonna. Well, no. I got to review the stupid thing. If I didn't have to review it, I wouldn't go. I'd miss it. Cruella. Hell no. Luca. No. I'm gonna have to review Shang-Chi. Jungle Cruise. Maybe. It's got The Rock, right? So yeah, Mrs. Nerderotic's gonna make me go see that. Deep Water. Beatles Get Back. Oh yeah, definitely. The Last Duel. Eternals. Yes. Can't miss that first Marvel alphabet kiss or male alphabet kiss. I don't know if I can't remember. And I will skip West Side Story. I'm not a big musical guy. Don't like the musicals. Yeah. Do you care? Do you care that Marvel's been delayed? I think the biggest question is, do we care? I can tell you, just for me, I know a lot of you are just huge film fans and film buffs, and you love sitting there in the theater with your popcorn and the great sound system and seeing something seeing a spectacle on the big screen. And when it's a good movie, sure. But do you really, really miss it? Are you like itching to get back to the theater? I guess it depends on what's playing. Do any of those movies make you want to rush back to the theater? They might. They don't. I would go to a movie tomorrow if they were showing the Lord of the Rings extended editions. Hell yeah. I'd be there. But I think the habit has been broken with the MCU, and it's been broken with movies. And listen, back in the 80s, families used to go every Friday. Every Friday. My family did. And then I carried it on when my family kind of fell out of it and I became a teenager. I was at a movie every Friday and Saturday, like that entire decade, because there wasn't much else to do. I mean, you get really high and you go watch a movie. I would go to the arcade that was in the parking lot. But, those are arcade games. We had the Vector Graphics Star Wars game. Oh, I got to keep an eye out. By the way, that just reminded me. I'm getting one delivered today for Junior for his birthday. I guess they remade. Tom showed it to me. It's a smaller version. It's got a riser on it. I'm getting the Star Wars one today. I guess I should keep track of that. So I might have to run to the door real quick. I didn't even think about that. I think it's going to be here this afternoon. But it's for Junior for his birthday. He's going to turn 15. God damn it, I can't believe it. But yeah, I used to play like the little Vector Star Wars game, and then Terminator 2 pinball. That was the best pinball game. Get loaded and watch a movie every Friday and Saturday. People just don't do that anymore because, for one, the best entertainment isn't even on film. Quite frankly, it's moving to television, or at least it was. And for me right now, the best entertainment is you guys. I'm not lying. I would rather go watch a Culture Casino or a Jake D live stream than 99% of the TV shows right now. The only thing I'm slightly looking forward to is The Boys. I am kind of looking forward to Star Trek Discovery, which is, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Which I will be reviewing live just to talk to you guys about it. I'm not looking forward to watching that garbage again, but I will. There's a couple good things out there, but like I said in my video, I'm finding it very hard to root for Hollywood. And what I have noticed, at least in this sphere, is you are really pissed. A lot of you are really, really pissed. And I'm pissed too. Because we've been watching, we've been observing, because you know what? We don't have time to go burn shit down. We're too busy working or worrying about where we're going to find work or having to build another business after we closed our business down or watch our loved one go through that shit. And I can't even imagine what it's like to have your business burned down and some asshole on Twitter tell you that insurance will cover it when it won't. And if it does, it's like a third. And they're going to jack you around and it's going to be years. And you're going to see a lot of those people just say, F it. Businesses struggling to stay open with, with the social distancing that's in place, you have local politicians playing games. You can open if you jump over these 5 hurdles and then jump through these flaming hoops. I think the whole damn thing's going to be there's going to be a huge reckoning. Huge reckoning. Most people don't want to go out there and fight and burn shit down and get violent. It's it's a small number of people out there creating a lot of chaos. It's a lot of politicians allowing it to happen. And it's rich people in America financing it and ruining it on. That needs a reckoning. And I think a lot of people will be very happy to see Hollywood fail. And, the individual actor, the individual person in Hollywood's probably, what did I do? Well, you know what? That's what we're thinking right now. What did we do? We just got up and went to work and followed all the rules and did everything right. And now we're being told our entire system is wrong. According to who? Exactly. According to who? And now we got freaking sports ball players telling us this shit too. Seriously, guys? I respect anybody's game as far as acting or sports or anything is concerned. But I'm also old enough to know that you guys put a lot of work into that, but not much else, especially your schoolwork. So you might want to dial that back a little bit, especially since what's the league minimum in the NFL now? 300,000. That's 3 times more what your average San Franciscan made, which is still up there as far as income. And we're not going to have a lot of sympathy anymore. And we're going to find other things to do. And I want Hollywood to be around. I want pop culture to be around. I do. That's why I do this. And you know what? Occasionally somebody listens. And I am absolutely open to listen to things. The other side is, when I'm not being called an ist or a phobe because I don't like a show. And I don't mind the constant attacks. I don't engage in any of that shit. But as far as Hollywood is concerned, you would not believe the fucking emails I get. Every time I do a video concerning, I can't even talk about that stupid movie on Netflix, but you know what I'm talking about. And the other couple, I just get flooded with emails that people are just fucking done. I'm done. I used to love Hollywood. I used to love pop culture. I have been so turned off over the last 6 or 7 months. And we're talking hardcore fans. We're talking people on the left, people in the center. It's not just a right-wing thing. They're starting to frame the whole Cal exit thing. The defund San Francisco thing is a right-wing argument. So that's going to be everything now. Now, remember they used to try to discredit things by calling them conspiracy theories. Now it's just right-wing thing. There's a point where you got to realize, where you got to open your eyes. And this is why I'm not partisan. I don't identify with either party. I don't like them. And I'm not going to get super political, but this is why I'm a centrist, because I don't want to be in a position where, you're going to be in that position. You're absolutely going to be. Eventually, one of the parties is going to do something that you hate. And I'm not the kind of person who's just going to rah because it was supposedly my guy. It's not a fucking team. This is real life. Unfortunately, politics is a game right now. And it's looked at, Jeremy put it best, it's fucking WWF. But unfortunately, it's real life. And now we're seeing that with the local politicians, the ones I have the biggest beef with, because those are the ones who have power over my life and took my wife's business and threw chaos into our lives. That this is something I'm going to pay attention to now. And I have looked into the people running San Francisco, and I should have, because my God, they are underqualified. Big surprise, right? Big surprise. And Hollywood is in lockstep with them right now. And all you have to do, nobody's asking an actor or anybody to change their politics. We've said this over and over again. Have your fucking politics. Have a little respect. That's all. You can disagree with the president. I don't care. I don't give a shit. But when you're all president supporters are racist. I mean, like, this is pretty much what they hear every day. And every time you do that, you make another president supporter. Each time you do that, you make a new one. Every time, Cecil's been saying it's the riots have been the best campaign commercial in the history of mankind. And yeah, it sticks in my head a little bit. Each time I talk to my wife, and, she's having to rebuild shit when 6 months ago, she was just cruising right along just fine. And I tell you, man, if, say, for example, the election goes a certain way and then all of a sudden the coup just magically disappears, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be so fucking pissed. And I know we're all thinking about it. I don't know if it'll necessarily go down that way because that would still be giving up power. We'll see if that fucking happens. I don't know if you've heard, but a company here in the UK called, God damn it. Dude, wake the fuck up, Gary. Games from the drunk side for $10. Thank you for providing a much needed voice of reason and entertainment. Also, where can I find a Waiting for Nerdrotic t-shirt? Keeping up the great work, man. Hashtag save Az. Az sounds like he's getting better. He did a couple of videos, but yeah, he needs a little more time to live stream. I don't know. I guess I got to make one. That would mixed tees. So the shirt that Quarter Black Garrett wears occasionally on Louder with Crowder. Thanks, Quarter Black. Is if you go to my website, nerdrotic.com, look to the right, mixed tees, you can get that shirt. That's the only shirt I have right now. There's going to be more merch coming with Friday Night Tights. We're working on that. Everything I had planned got pushed back, just like Marvel, because I had to move out of San Francisco immediately so I could enjoy a little freedom. And no, I saw Tim Pool talking about this too. He rushed his move too. And while, you know what, it was definitely an emotional decision. It was. And I usually don't like to make those when it comes to money. But I've been without freedom for a long period of time before. And there's no way in hell I'm going to go through it again. Period. So I'm going to try to go somewhere where it's legal for me to be free. San Francisco is not going to be that place for a long, long time. And look at how long the citizens of that city put up with it. They just freaking go right along. I love to see my generation, Gen X. A lot of them used to identify as punk rockers, right? Well, look at all those punk rockers following all those rules. That is so punk rock. So as much, you don't hear me give millennials crap anymore. I can't because my generation sucks. Jestero Roanoke, thank you for joining at the proto-molecule level. Venom Snake for $2 Australian says he's voting for Trump. Please try to stop me, bud. Well, you're not from this country. But you can make your own little ballot and vote. And if you want to do that, that's cool. But guess what, Venom? If you voted, the other way, they'd probably count it. And your vote counts about as much as mine. See, I'm not allowed to vote. Although I've been a very good boy for, how long has it been since 1991? A long time. A long time. I've been a good boy a long time. Before that, was not a very good boy. Games from the drunk side, welcome to the proto-molecule level. Wild Rose, thank you for the poop for 99 cents. That's for San Francisco. And Scottish Nerd, thank you for the phallic unicorn for $1.49. Hail, Gary, I love you and the whole fam. Glad you are you're good. Be safe. Things are about to get crazy again with the riots. Yeah, Nettled Nerds for $5. I heard, well, I don't know what's going on today. I heard there was going to be a decision made with a certain person who I'm not going to bring up. And, well, don't start that shit up again. I would not start that shit up again. Unless, if you do, it will not go down like you think. Like I said, giant commercial, giant campaign. I wouldn't do it. And if I was Hollywood, I'd shut the frack up right about now. It might be too late, though. It might be too late. We're seeing numbers, and we've been seeing these numbers for quite some time. This is before any violence started and before any coup started. And I did a bunch of videos on it. I pay attention to this shit. And while the Marvel was going to be successful, it's the one juggernaut that Disney had. It's not going to be that anymore. They're not going to get the numbers that they were getting before. They peaked, but it was still going to be successful except for this delay, right? But across the line with all the woke shit like Terminator, Dark Fate, Charlie's Angels, everything was down 27 to 35%. 27 to 35%. These are numbers you're seeing pretty consistent with the NBA ratings. You see it with the Emmys ratings. 27 to 35%. That is the amount of people you are alienating over and over again. And it's new people every day. And it's those unintentional consequences. I have no idea what a empty-headed adult pretender means when they start complaining about systematic racism while wearing a $250,000 dress, sitting in their $6.5 million mansion. I don't know what a director or producer of shitty movies means. Actually, I don't know what's in his head when he says no more white supremacy in the workplace. I maybe he means something else, but what it's coming across is he thinks a lot of his customers are white supremacists. That's what they hear. Whether Jar Jar intended that or not doesn't really fucking matter. Reality is perception a lot of the times. And then you come out with you make it a propaganda symbol that looks Marxist with Marxist colors and Marxist imageries, but you're sitting in a $6.5 million mansion. So what, are you going to be part of the ruling class, Jar Jar? How are you going to survive this? I mean, I think he's an educated man. I think he knows the death count that goes with that ideology. I think he knows that expression isn't really free in that ideology because the state is God. So I don't know. I don't know how they work it out in their head that this is shit, that this shit's going to work, that they benefit from the system that they're trying to burn down right now. You'd think they'd be grateful and trying to work towards bringing people together. But that's the thing. It's the divisive marketing. We talked about it earlier in the live stream. It's been divisive from the get-go. It's been happening for years. It's coming to a head because we've been beaten over the head with it for 4 years now. And my hope is always to make them change because, I can't make a movie. I can't go out there and create a TV series. I don't have that kind of money. I could sit in front of a camera and talk for a long, long time. That's what I can do. But, I want the Lord of the Rings show to be great. I want it to be the greatest thing ever made. Probably going to be woke as hell. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't know if we're going to get that anymore. I don't know if Hollywood can afford genre anymore. It's getting long in the tooth. And what I said in my Supergirl video, if you didn't see it, I put it on Nerd Erotic Live, is, things like the CW already did damage to genre. They lowered the bar, and it helped bring in the identity politics, the SJWs, the NPCs. It helped create Star Trek. It helped in its current form and Doctor Who in its current form because the creators of those shows and the bankers who control them just look over. Listen, they don't care about nuance, and they don't listen. They don't fucking watch these shows either. They just read the reports on them and they go, well, look at the CW. They don't put a lot in the writing. They make money. Why can't we do that with Star Trek? I don't know. The fans might not like it. Fuck the fans. We need new ones. Those ones are old anyway. All those 50-year-olds with disposable income, we don't need them. There's girls on Tumblr. Twitter badge of honor for Nerdrotic. Congratulations, Gary. Hail. Thanks, Bobby Sharps. I wish I could tell you what I got it for. I don't know what I did. Honestly, I put up a positive tweet today. So on the day I put up a positive tweet, I get, it might have been for a past discretion. I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. Thank you for the $4.99. Thomas Ballou thank you for the phallic unicorn for $1.49. And Mr. Q, welcome to the proto-molecule level. All right, next article. Oh, yeah. This is pretty cool. If you want to hear more comic book comrades whine a little bit, Keanu Reeves' comic Berserk has passed $1 million on Kickstarter. Now, unfortunately, it's on Kickstarter, but it had everything to do with Keanu Reeves going there, and it's got a lot of people worried. A lot of people who write slice of life stories about lesbians and slice of life stories about freaking blankets. God, I hate that. God, so many people bought that too. Lesbian Chronicles. They're worried. They're worried that they won't be able to control the comic book market. Well, it's not a market anymore. It's a joke. Whatever it is, they can't control it anymore. And their spaces are getting invaded by Keanu Reeves, who everybody loves. And he lent his name to something, and it made $1 million. Now, I haven't backed it yet. I probably will. It looks pretty good. And you can go check it out. But it passed $1 million freaking dollars. And it's got 7 days to go. It's got 10,000 backers. That's pretty good. But you also think about what Ethan and Zach did without Keanu Reeves. That's pretty impressive. I thought it would actually get more than this, and it might. It still has 7 days, and if Keanu comes out and gives it another shout out, it might. But it's great. Ron Garney is cool. I don't know much about Matt Kent. But this is good news. This is traditional storytelling. You got a badass doing badass shit, and you don't have a frumpy looking dude on a bicycle thinking about his relationship with his parrot or whatever the fuck comics are now. I have no idea. I mean, there isn't much to talk about anymore. When I open up my other shop, I'm not going to carry new shit. I'm just, unless it's some Indiegogo stuff, some CG stuff. If they want to carry it in a store, if they don't, that's fine. I'll mostly be selling back issues and toys. And that plan B is still there because every day on YouTube I appreciate, because it could be my last. You never know when they're going to change the rules. They always come up with something that if I don't stress too much about it, but right now with my wife trying to rebuild her career a little bit, it makes my stomach hurt a little bit when I hear YouTube doing shit like that. It causes it to shift. Mama Susan. And goddamn, I'm still pissed about last week. Because I think they put a bunch of channels in the doghouse. I could be wrong about this. I could be wrong. But even the mere mention, soon as the New Yorker came out with that article calling any criticism of that film on Netflix right wing. Things changed a little bit. People still saw the videos. They still did okay. But I saw something. I mean, I've said it, but I did a cuties video there. I fucking said it. And it did 15,000 views in the first 30 minutes. That's insane. I mean, that's like you're tracking for 30 in the first hour. That's really good. That's really good. It got 30 in the next 10 hours. It was, you could see the point where it just was stopped. They didn't demonetize it or anything. They just stopped. And they started doing that with everybody's stuff. I asked around, and yeah, they definitely didn't want us talking about it, but they weren't going to demonetize it. They weren't going to do anything. They were just going to not recommend it as much. And it was right after that. Before that, it was fine. I was kind of blown away that YouTube was letting it happen. Bet your ass all those videos get age restricted when that thing comes down. Bet your ass on that. Ugh. All right. So we talked about it a little earlier. Supergirl got canceled, right? And Supergirl lasted, I mean, it's going to last 6 seasons. It's getting 20 episodes. So that's not bad. What's bad was its ratings were horrible. I believe its last episode in season 5 was watched by 638,000 people, 35,000 people. And a lot of YouTubers have said, I've got videos more. Yes, they do. They do. It's not counting digital. If you add in the digital, it's like 1 million, 1.5 million. That's still really low for a show that costs millions, but it's canceled. And the reason they canceled it is they can't afford it. They can say the lead actress is getting pregnant, whatever. If it was making money, they would keep it on the air. And it wasn't making money. And it never was making money. But they could lump it in with all the other CW stuff. But the axe came down. The axe will come down on more shows. Especially shows like this. Shows with our heroes in it. What's the hero's journey? Hero wakes up in the morning, is awesome, then finds out she's even more awesome because a guy has been keeping her down. Once she dispenses of the guy that's been keeping her down, she becomes even more awesome and then ends the movie or TV show awesome. It's not very exciting to watch. And the anti-male sentiment is getting to a level of parody at this point. I mean, absolute parody. And it's in everything. It's even in The Boys. The show people love. The show people love is The Boys. Well, I'm probably going to have to do a video. It'll take a lot of time, but I'll probably have to do a video. And it's very similar to the video that guy did for Fury Road, pointing out the intersectional feminism in it, which I didn't even notice at the time. And I think The Boys is Fury Road 2 as far as sneaking in a message. But the biggest difference is Kripke's talented, so you're still getting a good story. You're still getting a good story. But we'll see where the story goes. We'll see where the story goes. You know, Mad Max Fury Road, a lot of people loved it. Where's the next movie? Why wasn't the studio in a big old hurry to make a sequel? Because it didn't make that much money. It turned a lot of people off. I mean, I think a lot more people wanted to see a lot more Mad Max in their Mad Max film. I can see that. I like Tom Hardy. Think he's a good Mad Max. Thought he was all right. I think Mel Gibson would have been just fine in it. But he's canceled, of course, somewhat. I think he's kissed enough ass to come back a little bit. But he still pops off now and then, and I appreciate it. As crazy as he is, I appreciate some of the stuff he says out loud in public. But with The Boys, it's controversial. People don't see it. Some people do see it. I definitely see it. It is most definitely there. It is basically those of us here in the sphere of social media, we are Stormfront because we're all secretly ists. Yep. There's some puppet master behind us. We have fellow YouTubers saying that. We'll get into that in the rumors section. But yeah, Supergirl's gone. I'm not going to miss it. It's one less woke superhero show. And will Doctor Who be right behind it? Well, the BBC is a different entity than the CW. See, the CW needs to make money, and nobody's watching their network. Nobody's watching network TV anymore. They're unplugging left and right. I've been unplugged for years now. I don't watch that shit. Whenever I watch something, I watched it for free on their app. But the CW superhero shows have done irreversible damage to superheroes, to DC superheroes. DC has an opportunity right now to grab the baton for Marvel and do something better, because they can do something Marvel can't. They can tell side stories and elsewhere stories or standalone stories. You know, I think their new I don't want to call it MO. Maybe their new strategy is to follow the Joker. See, the Joker just remade Taxi Driver with the Joker. And now Batman, I hear the Batman's going to remake 7 with Batman. Okay. I mean, if it works, if it's good, sure. I don't know how much you could pull that off, but if it's as good as the Joker, great. Happy about that. Then you'll kill Marvel, because you can do things. DC can do rated R. Marvel cannot. Disney is so painted in a corner with that crap. They'll eventually get rid of it. We'll find out when. Yes, they've got Hulu, but listen, just put the rated R on a Disney film. Nobody's going to freak out. And if you don't, then, DC has an opportunity, but DC and Warner Brothers, their parent company, always finds a way to not believe in their characters, shoot themselves in the foot, and not pick up that baton, or get even more woke. There's that. But they have their opportunity right now. Instead, we're going to get the hero's journey. And what the CW has done to DC superheroes is use them up. That's the perception the normie is going to have with DC superheroes. So if they see or hear about a Supergirl movie, they're going to think the TV show. Even though it's a different actress, normies don't think about that shit very much. They just see Supergirl and the S and a blonde hair, and they're like, I thought the show was dumb. That's who you have to win over every time. And that's the perception now is... And I remember when Batman 89 came out, it was trying to shake the stigma of 66 Batman. That's all they said is, this isn't 66 Batman. This isn't Adam West Batman. This is a serious take on Batman. Yes, that's what they were saying. And now they're going to have to do that with an entire group of superheroes with Green Arrow. I mean, I'd like to see a real Green Arrow. I mean, Flash is pretty good. They represent the Flash pretty good, but then it turned CW. And they filled it full of intersectional feminism and identity politics. And then the same group of 50-year-old guys was watching the show by the end. That was it. The same guys who were watching Doctor Who, basically. It's not women. Oh, God, no, it's not women. Women are not. There is zero sex appeal to Doctor Who. At least there was a little sex appeal to the CW shit, but then it became full-on alphabet. And they put Supergirl in Superman's suit because intersectional feminism, and it gets canceled right after that. What a fucking surprise. They can't build anything with this shit, but they can certainly destroy. And they destroyed something that was one of their allies, because I thought it was... Listen, I tried. I watched the premiere episode of Supergirl at Comic-Con. It was fucking awful, and they re-edited the hell out of it for CBS, and it was less awful. But the first season, no, that shit was not made for me. And I'm a lifelong superhero fan who owns Supergirl comic books and read Supergirl comic books for years since I was a kid. And it wasn't made for me. You're right. Too bad. I liked Arrow season 1 and 2. Thought they were good. Liked Flash season 1 and 2. Thought they were good. Liked the first couple of episodes of Swamp Thing. Liked a lot of episodes of Doom Patrol. Not every episode, but I like a lot of episodes. I haven't seen Stargirl. I liked one episode of Titans. But out of Greg Berlanti's 18 shows, they mostly suck because they didn't respect superheroes and they made them a joke, and they're a fucking joke now. The costumes are, I know some people like Stargirl, but dude, those costumes are terrible. They're awful. They're awful, and they look like a joke. Now, again, I hear Stargirl's good. I trust Az. That's great. Blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while. But Berlanti used up the DC universe, and now they're going to have a Superman show. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I'm not going to watch it, and I'm a huge Superman fan. I'm not going to watch that fucking show. I don't want to see skinny cuck Superman get led around in his nose by Lois Lane. They already did a show like that, which was better, with the great Dean Cain, Lois and Clark, and Terry Hatcher. And it had sex appeal. See, we can't have sex appeal in anything anymore because that would bring the male gaze. Well, Hollywood, listen, you're going woke. You're pissing people off that way. You're getting frumpy. We can't show boobs anymore. We can't even have a straight relationship without offsetting it with two other alphabet relationships because that's too heteronormative. Hollywood, you've steered a little bit off the rails now, like way off the rails. I don't know what there is to root for. If you can't tell a hero, just a normal fucking superhero story, if you can't tell a Superman story, you have Henry Cavill right there. You want to bring women in the fucking movie theaters, you have it right there. You sign them into 3 pictures and you make a superhero, a Superman movie where he takes his shirt off a couple of times. You'll get all the women you want in your fucking movie theater. But instead, they can't tell these stories. Listen, they're fucked. They're completely fucked. And we're going to have to tell our own stories. And I don't know if they'll ever be able to turn it around. They're so hyper political right now, and they're smelling their own farts. And they actually think that if they put a bunch of frumpy people in superhero suits, like with Watchmen, oh my God, that was terrible. God, that show was fucking terrible. Man, if you want to know what a shill is, look at the people praising Watchmen. Story-wise, it's directionless. It's a Mary Sue fest. Basically, they take Dr. Manhattan, take his balls off, and he turns from they put him in blueface, and then he hands his power to the more spectacular, braver, and more stunning woman who didn't earn it at all, who was just there. She was a badass cop, and supposedly she's the most specialist thing in the world, and she deserves Dr. Manhattan's powers, and he passes them through a broken egg, which signify his balls. Fucking not kidding you, dude. That's what the fucking story is about. Oh, and every white dude is a racist, secretly. We all have Klan uniforms in our closet and shit. Yeah, it's fucking, they laid it on thick and people ate it up. Some people did. The critics did. The shills did. It was fucking terrible. They exploited a bunch of shit. Like, this is the kind of thing that's going to be looked back on in 10 years. And they're going to go, oh, yeah. Like, they took an actual, like, horrific historic event and exploited the shit out of it. And people were going, this is amazing. I'm all, no, it's not. They hid the truth. It brings awareness to it. I'm all, how? By bringing it's got a hypnotizing gun. That's what caused it. A hypnotizing gun. You just relieved everyone of responsibility then. You didn't actually get the story across. It's terrible. It's freaking terrible. So the opening scene in Watchmen, they have the Tulsa massacre, right? Which was supposedly caused by one of Moloch's hypno guns. And it was the police, but it caused everybody to fight. Now, if you want to go look up the real reason why that happened, it was horrible, by the way. It was fucking horrible. And people should know about it, so we don't repeat that, of course. But then they dramatized it. And then there's one scene where a World War I vet is trying to protect his kid. So the World War I vet who just got back from World War I hands his gun to his wife and grabs the baby. And I just laughed. I just laughed. I believe, I don't know if, I hope his stuff is still up. Word of Wolf did a review of episode 1. Watch it. Watch his review. It's absolutely everything I wanted to say about that. It's fucking great review. I don't know if he's gone forever off YouTube. I hope not, but if he is, he did great work. He's a good guy. Thank you, Thomas Ballou, for the $1.49 phallic unicorn. Yeah. So a Watchmen won a bunch of awards. What a shock. I'm sure it was for the quality storytelling of Dr. Manhattan giving his balls away. Literally. Almost literally. I mean, passing it through an egg that they crack. Hail, Gary. Anna discovered that the male French producer of Cuties made another movie that had a very similar plot, sans the, well, yeah. Sebastian, thank you for the $20. I'll finish this. Had a very similar plot, sans the women and of color producing. Okay, I'll just say twerking. Sans the twerking, and a woman of color co-produced the movie. Didn't get an award. Cuties did. Yeah, I mentioned it in my live stream previous, Sebastian, a while back, that Cuties was based on a short film by the same director with a younger girl. Same producer, same director. They just fleshed it out with an older girl, added some of the twerking, and that's what they got. That's what you got. Larry, welcome to the Jaloja level. But thank you for the $20. I wonder how George Carlin would feel about Bill and Ted 3. He would probably be bored by it. I thought it was okay. Some people hated it. I thought it was okay. Polaris sucks for 2 Canadian pesos. Love this show as always. Love you too, Polaris. Thank you. And Nerd Cookies. What's up, Nerd Cookies, for $5? Hi, Gary. Love your voice. It's calming on a stressful day. Reassuring. Wow. I don't know. Is it? I'll try to be a little more calm. I was getting a little fired up there. I haven't live streamed in a little while. A couple of things pissed me off today. I don't know if I can talk about one of them. I might. I'm not supposed to, but I guess one of the things I'm guilty of is talking too much. Rich Suddy for £5. Hail, loving the wall. Great you mentioned Michael Hogan. Mentioned it to Doomcock yesterday and saw yours in his tweets. Yes, and I will mention it again on Friday Night Tights. Michael Hogan is, of course, Colonel Ty from Battlestar Galactica. He got into an accident. Half of his body is paralyzed. There is a GoFundMe. I linked it earlier. I'm sure one of my Modrotics will link the GoFundMe. It's going to be a tough fight for him, but the great Colonel Ty from Battlestar Galactica needs our help. So I called on the Fandom Menace, and the Fandom Menace helped, of course. Randy G, welcome to the Proto-Molecule level. Tavok, hail Gary, and cheers to Michael Hogan. Hail for Michael Hogan, so say we all, says John Oakletree. And by the way, half of all the proceeds of this show are going to go to Michael Hogan. So keep an eye on Twitter. AJ Borker for $10. For Michael, hail everyone. Thank you very much. Butterbiscuit 92 for $10. Gary, been loving the Inquisition. Never really tuned into it, but I will start trying now. Thanks for opening my eyes to this nonsense. Thank you for all you do. How did you make out with No Power? Oh, yeah, they canceled it. So I was going to have my power out for 12 hours last Sunday. Had to do the Inquisition early. Went and got my dry ice, cleaned out my fridge, got all ready to go, booked a hotel room, and then they canceled it. What you going to do? At least I got my fridge cleared out. All right, we got a $50 super chat from Panyoyo for $50. Love your content. Hope you are having a good day, dude. Thank you for the $50. Half of that will go to Colonel Ty, to Michael Hogue. Shit, I make all of it, but like seriously, right now, like, the wife just lost her business. So sorry, but, I'm having a good day. I'm having a good day. I spent the day catching up, doing a little work on The Office, watching what other people are saying about stuff. Oh, we're going to talk about The Mandalorian too. We're going to talk about rumors and Star Wars rumors and Star Trek leaks. And then we're going to talk about something briefly to put it to fucking rest that's been going out there for quite some time. But I heard somebody pass on, you want to talk about a lie. Ooh, don't get me started. I probably shouldn't talk about it, but I'm probably going to get in trouble for it too. Gary, what up, dog? Thanks for the shout out to help Michael Hogan. Hell yeah. Oh, Jaleel Kawas, thank you for the $20. My pleasure. I'm sorry I didn't hear about it sooner. It was, I guess this happened a couple of days ago. So, and I got removed off Twitter right after that too. Okay, peppermint oil capsule for £2 says, sorry to be weird, but I need to know where Robin is. Robin on the wall? Here, I'll show you real quick. It's got to be lit up. It's out of focus, but he is... Okay, do you see where number 24 is hanging on the shelf? Here. We're going to go right. Robin is around here somewhere. There he is. There's Robin right there. Right where my finger is. So you feel better? I tried to put it right where he was before in the other room, but, forgive me for not being perfect. No, I'm just kidding. Larry, welcome to Geloja. Hail, brother. Okay. Star Wars rumors. And you guys can ask whatever questions you want if I can get them. And what's up, Oberon? How's it going? Hail to you. Hail to you. I just saw your hello now. I know it was from like an hour ago, but all right. So if you guys have questions, hit Nerdrotic. I'll try to get to them. Of course, there's the super chats when it comes. And if you still want to talk about other stuff, but here, okay. So Star Wars rumors, there's been a lot of Star Wars rumors over the last couple of years. We've got reporting from Midnight's Edge. We got rumors from Doomcock. We've got Grace Randolph. There's a bunch of other channels there that I do not subscribe to. I'm not a fan of the other Star Wars channels that are outside the Phantom Menace. Listen, I don't care about Star Wars that much anymore. So I'm not going to sit around theorize about it. I care less. Right now, the entirety of my Star Wars fandom is Gina Carano. God damn. Oh, sorry. I got a bad shoulder. I haven't talked about that much. Oh, shit. I got a bad shoulder that I need fixed. And I just reached too far. Holy shit. Woo. So yes, this is the entirety of my fandom. And now my right arm's not going to work for the rest of the show. Shit. I'm not supposed to extend it at all. And it's a long story. I don't want to bitch about my health. There's nothing more boring in the world. I'll be fine. But I got my small one. This is all I give a shit about. And by the way, Gina responded to one of my tweets yesterday, and that kind of made my fucking day. That was awesome. Now, listen, I'm not going to simp like Drunk 3PO. Drunk 3PO got a little jealous, but, I don't expect I'm a happily married man. I like Gina for her attitude, her fucking attitude. So I praise her for that. And I am a fan forever. But that's my Star Wars fan. That's as far as it goes. I can give a shit. But I'm interested in rumors. I'm always interested in rumors because we talked about them as fans all the fucking time, right? I don't know how many times I got to repeat this, but we've all been to comic shops. We've all hung out with our friends. Nerds talk about nerd shit. And, back in the day, we didn't have TV series to talk about. So we were always talking about rumors that we read in a magazine or, read on a forum, and they could have been the craziest shit. We used to talk about them all the time in a comic shop, and it's absolutely fucking harmless. It's harmless. That's why the studios don't respond to them a lot, because if they respond to one, they would have to respond to all of them, and it would also lend it some legitimacy. Are there people out there making shit up? Of course there is. Of course there is. Why are they making it up? Well, my guess is to get attention. Good and bad, to get attention. Well, we know there is. We know there's one YouTuber who was making shit up to try to lure us to talk about it. But if you make shit up and post it on 4chan and then somebody talks about it, like, what exactly did you achieve other than pranking somebody? Maybe you got a good laugh out of it. Okay, that's cool. How does that make your thing better? And why did you spend so much time doing that? Why don't you, especially if you're a YouTuber, why don't you just concentrate? You want to make, so you spend a bunch of time trying to make another YouTuber look bad instead of maybe spending that much time on your channel to make it better, because it didn't help your channel and it didn't hurt the other channel. So I don't know what you accomplished there, but keep it up, buddy. Go on. Now, I don't really talk about rumors unless I speak to a person, and then I'll talk about them. But I'll talk about other people's all day long. I don't give a shit. Now, there's the rumor police out there that just think that, it's really bad for other YouTubers if YouTube channels talk about rumors. How is it bad exactly? I've never heard that. I don't know how it affects these other channels. If you don't bring up their rumors, I don't see how it affects you. If somebody comes in and asks you a question, what did you think of Doomcock's rumor? Tell them what you think. But when somebody asks me about Doomcock's rumors, and I'll either say that sounds believable or that doesn't sound believable, I leave it there. But these channels have really been hot on Doomcock's case lately because he got a lot of traction from his rumors. Now they've gone as far as to call him a liar and all that shit. And listen, you can attack the rumors. That's fine. And you listen, Doomcock can defend himself. He can defend himself. But calling him a liar, I know people are reaching out to him. Now, he's just passing it on. That's his choice. I get brought stuff too, and I don't pass it on. That's my choice. It's simple as that. He does what he wants for his channel, and that's it. But to continually harp on him and call him a liar and then go as far as trying to falsely compare him to somebody, that's where I draw the fucking line. So a lot of people probably don't even know this because we didn't want to bring attention to it. But I heard something today, so I just want to definitively shut this down. Now, nobody believes it except for the people who want to believe it or whatever, but it's about Doomcock, and there have been a couple of trolls, or I wouldn't call them trolls, just bottom-feeding YouTube channels wanting to compare him with some dude on BitChute, right? So this dude on BitChute is a racist. He is straight up, WS. Now I don't know if it's an act or not. I went and it took me a while to find it, but I found it to go look. And I talk to Doomcock a lot. After a show, we'll talk for like an hour. We'll talk for a half hour. He just wanted to let it blow over, and it was going to blow over. It is. It's completely debunked, by the way. But I heard somebody say something today because it was emailed to me. Now, I don't follow any of these channels, but people email me. I was at the gym. I heard somebody say something, fucking pissed off. So I'm like, fucking enough. So I'm going to nip this in the bud right now. Doomcock is not this person. Definitively, 1,000 fucking %. Doomcock is not this person on BitChute. There, you have your fucking answer. Piece of shit. So, also, continuing to say he is just makes you a bigger piece of shit, Jarbo. I usually don't like to punch down to Uber Eats drivers, but when they continue to lie about my friend and say he's a fucking racist on BitChute, then I'm fucking done. Jarbo, you're a fucking lying piece of shit. You're the guy who drops the N-word on YouTube, asshole. You're the one who said it publicly, you racist piece of shit. So I usually don't go after fucking other YouTubers. It's against my rules, except now, because you continued that lie after it's been debunked. The racist who's on BitChute has a fucking accent, you piece of garbage. It's a different guy. He's fucking fat, for one. Doomcock's not fat, and he doesn't have a fucking accent. So I'm going to address this once. You piece of shit. You fat fucking piece of shit Uber driver. It's not Doomcock. 1,000%. If you want to go at his rumors, whatever, I don't care, dude. I don't care. That's one thing. Go after Doomcock's rumors all day long. Try to compare him to that, and it pisses me off. So go get fucked. And that's the last time I'll talk about the Uber driving piece of garbage again. Ever again. Never bring his crap up on my channel. He's dead. He's a dead channel. He did it to himself. He got caught lying in front of the fucking world. And now he's trying to make up for it by going after Doomcock, who's never even discussed him before. I don't know. That's just Matt's way. People have tried to work stuff out with Matt before. So has Jeremy. Jeremy's done with them. I wouldn't even start with the guy. I don't give a shit about him. He can go off with his little channel, and that's fine. I hope it grows. And you know how it'll grow? Stop talking about other people and lying about other people and just talk about the fucking news, dude. And if you can't win it that way, then maybe it's just not in the cards for you. You had your shot and you blew it. Sucks. And you know what? Like, I don't care about the false flagging thing is one thing. You know what? I believe in second chances and all that shit. But dude, you just keep going out and making things worse and worse for yourself. And it's kind of funny. It's like, you know, watching you guys theorize about Doomcock was like watching retarded fucking Jeopardy. It was so fucking funny. I was laughing my ass off. And my kid was clowning you too. So, keep it up. Keep it up. Keep up doing that stupid shit. And where has it gotten you, man? God, I almost want to move to Oregon to order something on Uber Eats. I really fucking do. Thanks for listening to that. That fucking pissed me off today. I had enough. I've been quiet about it for weeks. And motherfucker. You know, you know, if it's one thing, it's about me. I don't care. But again, go after the argument all day long. Nobody's above criticism. Not saying we are. We get rumors right. We get rumors wrong. But dude, going after somebody like that when you know shit about Doomcock, dude. You know fucking shit. And I don't know if it's to lure him to fucking dox himself or whatever. He's not going to fucking do it, motherfucker. So I'll tell you definitively, it's not him. It's not him. But he said in a video last night that it is, that he said Doomcock is LARPing as this person. Last time I checked, Jarbo's the one who said the N-word for the world to hear. And that's what led to Ethan Ralph talking about it, and then Jarbo trying to flag him and others to keep it from getting out. But yes, I'm sorry. I don't think Doomcock's ever said that word publicly. I've talked to him on a lot of live streams, and I've listened to a lot of others. He never has. I never have. Yet it's Jarbo always calling us the racists. Oh, Keaton Smith. So that's enough. Sorry. Went off enough. I was fucking mad. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate you. Hail, 6-month member today, and RIP Doctor Who. Rest in peace, Doctor Who, Keaton Smith, for $1.99. Swinging cod for $5. I can, Doctor Who. Okay, so Jodie came out and said that her family raised her gender neutral. You know why she said that? Why would an actress just come out and fucking pull that out of her ass? Like, oh, by the way, hello, my name's Jodie Whittaker. I'm the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen. And by the way, my family raised me gender neutral. Well, she needed another victim culture badge. She needed another virtue signal badge because being a woman, which is supposedly a protected class now, I don't know how half the population's a protected class, but they tried. Well, being a white woman with a Karen haircut doesn't cut it anymore. It doesn't cut it with the BBC anymore. It's not woke anymore. As a matter of fact, it's a bad look, according to a lot of people. And that might be why they'll all come to a collective decision to end Jodie's run after next season. It'll probably be for family or something like that. But by the way, hairstyle is changing too for season 3. I have no information on that whatsoever, other than she's got a Karen haircut, and believe me, they're going to lose that shit. But yeah, she came out with that because she needed a little, because right now she's still the white woman leading around the people of color. Swinging cod for $5. I can relate as a Bullets and Redskins fan. First year without football, but the 2 decades without NBA has been busy. Yeah, honestly, Bullets, I have no problem with that name. I'll be honest with you, Redskins, I can't believe it lasted this long, to be honest with you. Listen, if I don't know all the information on this, but what I heard was that there are organizations that had no problem with that. If they didn't have a problem with it, then I don't have a problem with it. I used to be a fan, a semi-fan. Listen, I'm not like Jeremy. I don't chase a player. I'm just kidding, Jeremy. I am a team guy. So I was a Charger fan all my life. Everybody else was the enemy. And the only other teams I'd root for is teams that could help the Chargers in the playoffs, which was rare, let's be honest. But there are teams I was sympathetic towards, right? So I liked the Browns for a long time when I was a kid, and because of Brian Sipe. And I liked the Redskins because of Doug Williams, and I watched his Super Bowl in San Diego. I watched that fucking game. It was awesome. So I kind of like the Redskins. I did. But now I don't like any of it. And I don't miss any of it. My Sundays are free. They're not miserable because I'm rooting for some shitty team, right? So, Scottish Nerd for £2. The music, it's in the frackin' ship. Great actor. That's right. That Scottish Nerd was Michael Hogan. It's Colonel Ty. The music, it's in the frackin' ship. He was so good as Colonel Ty. Nicholas Horton for £5. Netflix keeps stuff like Cuties, but cancels shows like Dark Crystal. It's wrong. Well, Nicholas, that's a good point. So Cuties, they paid a little bit for Dark Crystal too. And they're going to die on that hill for their reasons. But I want to talk about Dark Crystal and its canceling and why it got canceled. It got canceled because the binge model doesn't work. It doesn't work. It won't work. Netflix will have to change it or suffer the consequences, because either that or you're just not going to get that much genre anymore. It's what I was talking about earlier. The CW used it all up. Genre is expensive television, and you can't get away with the CW and expect it to succeed. So everybody who's against the weekly model for shows, I'll say this. Then I hope you get used to your show being canceled after 1, 2, at the very most 3 seasons. If The Boys wasn't weekly, it would be 3 seasons. That's it. It'd be canceled. Too expensive. It gets forgotten. Here, let's do the math. Today's September 23rd, right? Okay. So Umbrella Academy season 2 was released on Friday, August 31st. So that would have been episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The final episode of Umbrella Academy season 2 would have aired this Friday. Do you even remember the show? No, you don't. You don't. It's out of everybody's mind. It is gone. It is history. It is dust in the wind because they dropped it all at once. They can't afford this shit. You can always binge later. You can always binge later. There's no way shows will become a hit unless they are released weekly. Yes, of course, there'll be an anomaly. There'll be a Cobra Kai. There'll be a Boys. There'll be a Stranger Things. But I would argue those shows would be bigger if they were weekly. Much bigger. Stranger Things will be done after the season, by the way. Done. When it could have lasted 7 or 8 years with those kids. But you don't feel like you spend enough time with them. You burn through your episodes in a couple of days and it becomes a memory. And weekly television is required for it to be a water cooler show. If you don't want any more water cooler shows and you just want 2 or 3 seasons, that's cool. That's fine. But I'm right on this one. I'm not budging on those. I'm absolutely right because you can always binge later. And as far as cuties, well, I got rid of my Netflix. And anything I see off of Netflix is, I just find a different way. Grand Wazoo 42. You are a good guy, Gary. Something for the Colonel. Thank you for the 20 pounds. Well, you know, I'm not perfect. I broke one of my biggest rules today, but it's because I'm fucking mad. Because I'm mad. I'm tired. You know what? And again, it was squashed. It was absolutely squashed because it's disproven. It was never true. And they were just probably trolling, you know. But until I heard that one thing today, I was going to let it go. But then I heard it, and that was enough. I cussed in the gym when I heard it. Scared the poor lady who was 3 machines down from me. Gary, I love you, and I don't care if Jeremy knows. Covenant for $1.99. It's okay. It can be between you and the 4,700 people watching right now. By the way, thank you. Thank you for hitting that like button. We're at 2,100 likes. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I welcome you all. If you are new to the channel, I talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of pop culture. Quite frankly, it's been a lot of ugly, but I do reviews once in a while. I've got a couple in the works, and I was inspired after the Watchmen win to, right after I'm done with Picard, I'm going to do the same thing to Watchmen. I'm going to go in, dig deep, and do a full-on Watchmen Season 1 review. We're going to go over every fucking cringe moment I can find, and there is a lot. There is a lot. It is unbelievably woke. It is the most woke show ever made. Period. It is made purely to virtue signal and win awards. And it was done in such a way. It was almost funny. It was almost funny how woke it is. It ain't nothing but a woke. But the woke was on them. They won awards, but they didn't get a season 2. Also, going after Hollywood. People are mad. People are mad. Every time I do a video like that, man, I get comments, I get emails, I can't believe the response I get. I don't know if Hollywood actually realizes how mad people are at them. They tend to ignore it, or a lot of them have assistants looking at their Twitter, and it's not all Twitter. I mean, fuck Twitter. They probably spend too much time on Twitter and they get all that praise and they don't realize that the rest of the world is fucking pissed. That's probably the reason. Hail chat, Phantom Menace is at 50% full download. Arthur Swanson for $2. There you go. Hail the Phantom Menace, by the way. Thank you for helping out Colonel Ty. Zaterin Lerais, welcome to the Jaloja level. JB for $2. Sup, dude. That's a SoCal talk right there. Sup, dude. Sassy Marie for $1.49. Thank you for the phallic unicorn. Overkill 161. Thank you for the piece of poop for 99 cents. Hang on a second. I'm getting a message. Oh, see, and Mrs. Nerdrotic already shared it on Instagram before I even shared it. Hail, Mrs. Nerdrotic. I guess I was glitching earlier. I was glitching for sure. Jaleel Kawas, thank you again for the $20 super chat. Phoenix Tangent for $1.49. Thank you for the phallic unicorn. Southeastern Kaiju, thank you for the super sticker for 99 cents. Larry, thank you for the thumbs up for $1.49. Southeastern Kaiju for $2 says, asking a question is bad. Obey and do as you're told. That's what they want. That's what they want. You need to obey. You need to bend the knee. You need to say whatever they tell you to say. You need to put pronouns, and they have to be the pre-approved pronouns. And if you don't do that, there'll be people who search all over your Twitter and try to find you saying something that might be against their pre-approved speech. Well, let me tell you what you can do with your pre-approved speech. You can stick it right up your ass. And listen, I'm not being specific to a gender. It's that you can stick it up the ass of either gender, men or women. Shade of the Evening for $5. Sending love from Al, all of us. I do Game of Thrones, other books on my channel, small channel. Wonder if I should have a restriction on Marvel being going down. I'm a little confused by the periods between everything. Am I glitching like that too? But I don't know what you're asking there, Shade of the Evening. Do whatever you like on your channel. Do what your audience likes, more importantly. But first you got to do what you like, and then you got to find out what your audience likes, and then you got to give them what they want to hear or what they like to hear or entertainment that they like. Because they decide ultimately. Marcus Cato for $1.99. Gary, it is truly an honor to support your channel. Thank you, Marcus. It's truly an honor to have you support my channel. Believe me, the honor is mine. Listen, I don't want to sound like times are tough. You know what? Times are times. They're going to be tough. They're going to be good. Are they ever as bad as everyone says? Well, it depends on your situation. There could be somebody having the time of their fucking life right now. There's a lot of people out there right now who are rolling, who are having a good time. And there's some of us who are suffering, and there's some of us who aren't as much. But while you're out there, I do appreciate you guys taking your time, your hard-earned money, and supporting this channel. I can't thank you guys enough. You've been helping my family, and this is going to go towards helping Michael Hogan, which is going to be very expensive for him again. Thank you again, Pawn Yo-Yo, for the $50. Lee Townsend for £5. Hi from the Green Bay is Great Britain. It doesn't show the sticker to me, Lee, so it says GB. I'm like, from Green Bay? Oh, hi from Great Britain. Had loss to the acting world, Michael Lonsdale. Really? You mean sad loss? Sad loss. Sorry. Rest in peace, Michael Lonsdale. Rest in peace. You're right, Lee. Thank you. No good for 5 Canadian pesos. Can't wait for Friday Night Tights. I am finally starting out comic collecting. Is there a trustworthy channel that recommends runs down the good new releases? Whew. I do not know right now. I would watch your boy Zach. He still reviews comics, and he's fair. He's always been fair, and he reads the new stuff, and that's who I would listen to. So I would go to You probably know good. You know Zach. Zach's the one right now reading. And then if just some guy reviews the comics, he's pretty damn fair as well. But as far as running down the new releases and trusting them, oh, no. There's no channel out there outside of your boy Zach. Now, if there's somebody you guys think I should know about, let me know. Let me know, and I'll go check it out. Thank you for the super chat. 3D Trekker for $10. Coffee time, man. Thank you. Why, thank you. Oh, look who's a member. Look who's a member. Heel versus Babyface became a member at the proto-molecule level. Why did you do that? You're a bad boy, Az. Now I'm going to have to join your channel. And I will. Thank you, Az. Digi Akuma for $10. I saw the news from Yellow Flash. Such irony that Chappelle's Sticks and Stones special won 3 Emmys despite the negative RT reviews, attacks, and his acceptance speech was brutal and epic. I haven't heard it yet. If I do, I'll probably end up doing a video on it. Sticks and Stones was fucking great. Oh yeah, I didn't hear his acceptance speech. V Sidious for $19.99. Got a new job so I can spend some on collecting comics, but okay, let me start that over. Vasidius for $19.99. Got a new job so I can spend time on collecting comics, but won't contribute to this nonsense. What's your opinion on Adam Hughes? Is he involved in the issues in the industry? Largely not. I mean, not that I've heard. Others might correct me, but I haven't heard much of anything out of Adam Hughes. He's probably had to pop off once in a while just to stay employed. I like his artwork. I like Adam Hughes a lot. I remember Ghost back in the day. But no, I haven't heard. He's not like Mark Waid. He's not like Donnie Cates. He's not like fucking Scott Snyder. VS, welcome to the proto-molecule level. I'm sure he's fine. Listen, do not follow these people on Twitter. I don't follow them on Twitter. What happened to Pixar, says Moses Tulliver for $2. Well, the law of diminishing returns. It's just not as great as it used to be because Disney started creeping in. Oh, and the loss of John Lasseter. That's what happened to Pixar. Mighty Balzac for $2 Australian. Are you on the Trump train, Gary? I don't discuss who I'm going to vote for the prez here. But if I had a vote, which I don't, because I lost that right as a felon, I'll discuss it when I'm going to vote. But let me put it this way. Pay attention to everything I've said. Look what I've done. But I don't want to start a political discussion. We had one on Friday. It turned into quite a dust up. Listen, I will vote to get rid of Gavin Newsom. I'll tell you that. I will, whether it counts or not, it'll be symbolic, but to get him recalled, I've already signed. I've done whatever I could to get rid of that motherfucker. I would get rid of London Breed, the mayor of San Francisco, who fucking killed my wife's business. I don't usually say that word. I'll hold back on it. But I am on the train of freedom, free expression, and I wasn't on that train before. I didn't care. I honestly didn't give a shit. Unfortunately, I was forced to give a shit. I kept this in pop culture. I don't like divisiveness. And yeah, it's just something I'm not going to talk about. Because you know what? I'm with Jeremy from the Quartering. This channel is not here to tell you who to vote for. You can vote for whoever you like. But honestly, I'd have to, right? I'm not going to vote for Biden. I'm not going to vote for Biden. Are you fucking kidding me? No. If there was somebody, look at the situation we're in. It's not very good. But there was a tweet. I think sums it up. It was by Josh Gad. I'll just tell you what it said. It said, do you want more of 2020? I'm paraphrasing what the tweet says, but he said, do you want more of 2020? And I'm like, no, actually I don't. I don't think that tweet came off like he wanted it to. It's actually, no, I don't. Prior to 2020, there was a lot of shit I didn't care about, didn't waste my time thinking about because it had no power over my life. Razor Fist was talking about this. Presidential elections have very little power over your life. It rarely affects your life. It's the mayor of your town can affect your life. Your county supervisor can affect your life. Your city supervisors can affect your life. Just ask the people of Seattle and Portland and Minneapolis and Kenosha right now. Those motherfuckers affect people's lives. Orange Man hasn't affected my life at all. And most people's lives, other than we had a really good economy. I'm one of these idiots who thinks that whoever becomes president's the president, whether I like it or not. It's the president. And we move on. We get mad. You move on. The country collectively didn't do that. And then they started making up shit. And then things got worse. You don't have to like the guy. I'm not asking you to like the guy. And again, you don't have to vote for him. I'm not telling you who to fucking vote for. Just, you win elections, you lose elections. And hopefully the next election, your guy or gal gets in or whatever. But it's pretty clear that if Kamala Harris gets in, that's not good. I remember when she was our DA. Hail, Gary. Thanks for doing what you do. It's good to see someone defending the nerd stuff in comics my dad introduced me to as a kid. It gives me hope that hero stories are intended will come back. Hero stories as intended will come back. Well, they will if you bring them back. Sorry. It says, it gives me hope that hero stories as intended will come back. I don't know if they're going to come back in the mainstream. I don't know. But you can bring them back. The independents will bring them back. We need to get to a place in entertainment where it's okay to tell whatever story you want. You know what I mean? Yeah. Somebody's going to write a story that might offend somebody. J.K. Rowling wrote a story where a murderer dresses up as a woman. She might have offended 10 people in the world, and she can't write that story. Artists can't think about that shit. I don't think about it when I talk. I'm not, I try to stay on this platform as much as possible, and that's the only thing checking my speech. But as far as like worried about offending people, I can't. I'm going to. It's going to happen. I don't mean to. But as far as being on a train, listen, I'm an old punk rocker. I'm not like yay government. Never been yay government, but I'm also an adult. So I understand. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of cops, of militarized cops. Not a fan of it at all, but you don't defund them. We need cops around. They serve a purpose. I've had my ass kicked by a cop, and I've had my life saved by a cop. They're people. Early on in the whole George Floyd thing, along with everybody else, you had my fucking attention. We could have had a conversation. Was all open to it. Absolutely. Let's get some changes. That dude on his neck, I don't care if he was, what the fuck he was on. I don't care how bad his heart was. That dude on his neck should not, no. Now, I saw what the context before that, which did matter. Changed my mind on it a little bit. Still, shouldn't have been on his fucking neck. That being said, was it worth burning down a bunch of businesses over? Nope. But I still would have been open to that conversation. I'm not open to that conversation anymore. Sorry, it got drowned out by all the rioting and looting. And that rioting and looting causing the states to stay closed longer, whether it was real or not, because the numbers went back up. Whether it was real or not, I don't fucking know. All I know is the states closed down longer and then more businesses were lost. That's what I actually give a fuck about. My kid's future. And I'm not partisan. I will vote for whatever side I think is best. And right now, the left lost me. Completely lost me. By backing up this violent shit, people wearing masks, being violent, forcing people to say shit, being totalitarian. Yeah, I can't be for that. And if you're still backing this stuff up, man, then you're partisan and you're lost. Now, that's not liking the other guy. I'm not asking you to like the other guy. But being okay. I heard Max Kellerman in a D-Day Cobra video. He said 93% of the protests were peaceful. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? I mean, where did you even get that number? How do you know how many protests there were? To get a percentage. Oh, did it get fed to you by the AP? Reuters? Okay, great. All I know is the rioting and looting made a lot of fans out of, brought a lot of voters over to Trump. They did. People you would not believe who would be voting for Trump are voting for Trump now. Hail, Gary. By the way, thanks for Chris Comstock. Ryan DeLucci for $4.99. How about Better Call Saul? That's a great show. Love the show and your old reviews. Hope all is well. Cheers. Ryan, I will be reviewing the final season. It was fucking awesome. It was a brilliant show. And I just ran out of time. I wish I would have reviewed it this last season. So fucking good. Mellis Williams for $4.99. I went to see Tenet and I didn't get sick. Good. See? There's another one. You're not going to die if you take precautions. You know what's irresponsible? Rioting and looting. Hail, Gary from Bulgaria. Watched Tenet a month ago. Loved Elizabeth Debicki and her arc. Great female character without any ideology, in my opinion. Brilliant. I've never, ever noticed that in any of Nolan's stuff. Aquidin 1876. Thank you for the 5 Bulgarian pesos. Butter Biscuit, 92 for $5. Since last month, I've seen Lord of the Rings movies 4 times, Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future, and Tenet twice since August when my theater opened. Not sick. Good. We need to hear more of that. Because we have an actor from the Eternals going, Disney made the right move by delaying my movie for 6 months because I can't with good conscience tell you to go to see a movie theater because you might die. It's like, calm down. Calm effing down. You could get sick. You could. You know what? The flu can kill you too. Car accidents can kill you too. There's a bunch of people this year who've died from drug overdoses. Drug overdoses that were completely preventable. Nobody gives a shit about any of that. What about the 30 people who died in riots? What about the people who were executed for their words, for words that they used, or for their beliefs? That isn't even getting covered right now. How horrifying is that? That mom who died. And there's other things they're not bringing up too. Trafficking, not bringing that shit up at all. FN for 5 Canadian pesos. You mentioned Tim Pool. When are you guys doing a Beanie Live on Friday night? You two get together would be awesome. I guess I got to ask him. He's busy. He does his own podcast. I'm small potatoes for that guy. But I'd love to have him on. I'd love to have him on. Curious, is there any news on Star Trek Strange New Worlds? You the man, Nerdrotic. Other than they're going to make it. But when it comes to Star Trek, they canceled Star Trek 4. Duh. I never thought it would get made. Nobody thought it would get made. There's no desire to make Star Trek movies. There's no desire for Star Trek. Star Trek belongs on television. We're going to find out tomorrow how popular it really is here in America. If Star Trek is so popular, we'll see how it does on network television tomorrow. Douglas Nielsen for $5. Do you think Paramount Plus can work, or how long before they have to beg Amazon, etc., to license their shows and films to their streaming service? Well, they're probably going to give it a good college try, Douglas, because that's going to be international. That's their international distribution. I give it a year before it completely fails. It's going to fail from the get-go. Paramount Plus, unless, are they going to have football on Paramount Plus? They're just absorbing CBS All Access, right? That's the only reason CBS All Access was around, was for football, and they can't rely on that anymore now, can they, motherfuckers? So I give it a year. The Peacock's failing already. Now, these streaming services are going to fail from the get-go. They're only as valuable as their catalog, and Paramount's catalog ain't that sexy. It's just not. Disney's got one of the better catalogs, and Warner Brothers, I think, is even better. And right now, I think, what is it? HBO Max has like 4 million subscribers, maybe 5. That's bad. That's bad. Disney's got a lot. So we'll see. Douglas, I give it a year. I'm old and haven't ever voted. In defense, I've lived 15 years overseas and out of the loop. Only been back for 11 months. Guess who registered yesterday? Good, CJ, for $4.99. Appreciate your show. You're a good one. Thank you, Robin Chang, for $2. I appreciate it. Listen, who do I want in office? I want a great healer someday. Somebody who can heal this fucking country. It's never going to be fully united, but let's get it back to a respectable level. Having a bunch of Marxists running around the street, forcing people to save shit, whether they hijack the movement or not, I don't give a shit at this point. Again, that stuff is lost to me. And when you have a bunch of elites in fucking New York or working for ESPN telling us that most of the protests are peaceful, asshole, come, you know what? That guy says it from his penthouse. That piece of shit. Stick to the sports ball, you freaking meathead. I just wish we could go back to the times of trolling. Those were happy times, wholesome times. Yes. You know what? The good old days. Since last month, I've seen Lord of the Rings 4 times, Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future, and Tenet twice since August when my theater opened. Not sick. Again, Butter Biscuit for $5. Damn. I wish I could go to your theater. George Orwell. You just say you told us so. Just go, I told you so. Every time you give a super chat, just say, I fucking told you so. George Orwell for $10. Knocked off of Twitter? Say it isn't so. Have a sawbuck to drown your sorrows with decent coffee, brothers. Thank you. And I will. I appreciate you, George Orwell. Yeah, I was kicked off. And then I came back and I wasn't kicked. I don't know why. I'll look into it. I'll tell you. I don't know if it was... I was going to tweet something else and it wasn't there. It was just gone. The best person for the job should get the job. Gary and Dubcock shouldn't have to put on a dress to get director for Star Wars, etc. Says NGT for $5. Nope. And I only put on a dress for kicks. Just for kicks. Once in a while, I like the air of my bits. No, I'm just kidding. Fury Road Max helps incompetent, helpless women kill their husband and take all their valuable stuff he built from nothing. I love the movie, by the way. It says Klein Dropper for $5. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't subtle when they said, you killed the world. You know, I'm just not so sure about, I'm blanking on her name because of the live stream now, but live stream brain fart. But Furiosa was like, she was cool, but it was, you know, I thought the movie was fine, but the messaging in it is fucking there. It's undeniable. Hey, Gary, did Twitter nuke your follows? Because you're not following me anymore. Apparently it says you're following nobody. We haven't happened. What even happened? I don't know, Aiden McGurr. I'll check right now. I hope not. Oh, it did. What the fuck? It nuked all my follows. Well, I had to follow Gina Carano real quick. Sorry. I had to fix that one right away. Ah, dude. Holy shit. Hang on. I'm following one person now. Well, I'll fix that. Hopefully they fix it. I don't remember. I was following like 500 people. I'm not going to remember all that. I'll do my best, but I'll follow you back. I'll follow you back. Just remind me. Just remind me. I wish I had a little more time to work on the Pedro face in that thumbnail, but I thought I did a decent job. I thought I did okay. Yeah. So when it comes to the Pedro Pascal rumors, I don't give a shit. And I think if he actually left, I think we would have heard about it. As far as him doing voice work, I think that's what he's largely done. I have only seen one picture of him in the costume outside of what we saw in that one episode. And it's a picture that somebody else took in the background. So I don't know how much he was in the costume. Oh, and I don't care. But I could definitely see them focusing more on female characters because 2020, because of intersectional feminism, because of Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah, I could definitely see Disney fucking this show up because they're Disney. I don't need a rumor for that. Don't need a rumor for that. So I will wait and see. Cara Dune? Yes. And I like Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian. And I think that's one of the better characters. I don't, Baby Yoda is cute. I don't care about Baby Yoda. That will get so boring. If they go another entire season with, we're getting a little bit of information here and there and the babies being cute every episode. And it's like, if we just get season 1 again and it's, I say this and people will eat it up. It's normie fodder. It's normie fodder. Where was I? Thank you, Orville Nation. He says Office Studio is looking great. I appreciate it. There we go. Why, thank you. Louis the Plank. Hail, did I miss the discussion about Jimmy Kimmel Emmys disaster? I talked about it earlier. Yes. So Jimmy, it was cringe as hell. Did you guys see any of his monologue? Oh my fucking God. It was bad. I watched the majority of the show, not like every second, because some of it was fucking bad. Some of it, but it was on the nose. It was political. There was nothing Like there's the Zendaya shit, but I mean, supposedly it's an upset. Every fucking award was passed out as a virtue signal, in my opinion, in some way, shape, or form. There was something political behind it. It had nothing to do with the quality of shows. Winning this award is meaningless, and nobody gives a shit about. But and the article I read in my video said it all. It's just for people in show business now, and those are the only people watching or giving a shit. Like poor Robert Meyer Burnett, like still thinks an Emmy, like people care about that shit. Like you could put this show won 19 Emmys. You know what? I went to Target and Walmart yesterday looking for a table, and one thing I noticed was their Blu-ray rack was fucking filled with Watchmen. Nobody was buying it on sale because it fucking sucks. So it can say all the fucking Emmys on it it wants, and it was packed. I'll take pictures next time I go by. They can't give that shit away. Nobody's buying Watchmen to watch it on Blu-ray. Are you fucking kidding me? What a joke. It reminds me of posers in music. See, punk rock is not for everybody. And you could tell who was into punk rock just for a little while because, you know, they liked the girls at the time or whatever reason they wanted to be in it. You could tell they didn't really like the music. They were really into the music. They didn't really understand punk rock because punk rock was never about musicianship. In some cases, not all. There's some fucking great musicians who have been punk rockers. Don't get me wrong, but that's not what it's about. And it's pure raw emotion, anger. And you could just tell when people weren't into it. And when people go, I just love the Watchmen. It was so powerful. Please. And that's the thing. It's like they want us to believe the lie. And that's all it is a lie. I don't give a shit what your politics are. Watchmen is giant confirmation bias for a lot of your politics. So that's probably why you're liking it and giving it a little extra shot and looking past the giant plot holes. Tell me, what happened to Lube Boy? There's a superhero who was following Regina King's character. And he was in a latex silver suit like the Silver Surfer with green eyes. And we call him a Lube Boy because he ran away from her and sprayed himself with lube and went down a drain. And we never saw the character again. And there's a bunch of shit like that. It's Star Trek Discovery dumb and bad, where they forget characters, they forget plot lines. And they take a giant shot at the patriarchy and they just shame Ozymandias. And then they make it, what they do is they basically take each Watchmen character and make a better, smarter girl, or with Night Owl, they just locked him away because they didn't know what to do with that character. And it was dumb. Don Johnson's character was a coked out sheriff who had a Klan uniform in his closet because his dad was part of the Klan. But they never make a distinction if he is part of this Rorschach gang or not. You never get a real answer. But it doesn't matter. He got killed for basically having his granddaddy's costume in the closet. We don't know if he was or not because he got mind controlled to kill himself. And they never really fucking answer the question. But the message is, well, you know, you're all ists anyway and you should just fucking die. Okay. Wow. And that's the one thing Jar Jar Abrams and his disciples are very good at is manipulating people into believing they're actually fucking good. And Damon Lindelof is the worst. Dude can't even write fucking comics good. Hail Picard vid says, oh yeah, I'm going to tear that one apart. I get inspired by the Dreckies. I love your channel. Thanks, says the Spectre in the Air. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you, Sergeant Politeness, for the $2. Aiden McGurr for $5. I will follow you, Aiden. Louis the Plank. You didn't miss me talking about it. It's earlier on. And I'm not done talking about it. I'm working on something bigger with the Hollywood. I'm trying to get more numbers on it. See more evidence of its fall. All right. We're going to wrap things up. I'm not going to be able to finish. Thank you very much. I will tally this up and get you guys a total. Okay. And we will send half of what this show made to Colonel Ty, Michael Hogan. I thank you for your time on the Nerdrotic Nooner. There will be 2 live streams tomorrow. 2. All right. So that's why I'm cutting out early. The Super Chat Square Up will be out in the morning. That's not going to be a live stream. That's a video. And then we're going to have the Exozone in the evening. And then late at night, I'm going to go live after Star Trek Discovery on Nerdrotic Live. The Exozone, I forgot whose channel it was on, to be honest with you. So I got to talk to Doomcock about what channel it's going to be on. But the Exozone returns tomorrow. And then Friday Night Tights, 2 p.m., guest to be announced. We're still working on that. And in between all that, I'm going to get a video out sometime. But thanks to everyone who subscribed to the channel. I greatly appreciate you all. And this will be part of the Super Chat Square Up that you will see tomorrow. Okay, so these questions will be answered tomorrow. And if you're not aware, I have another channel called Nerdrotic Live where I upload all of my live streams. And I hope you subscribe over there. We just passed 32,000. So that's brilliant. And I believe we just passed 286,000 on the main channel. So thank you all. Thank you all. Now, again, I normally don't really lose my temper at other YouTubers. So it's not something I'm going to make a habit out of, never bringing that other one up again. But what's done is done. And I don't regret any of it. And we also, in these hyper political times, it's kind of hard not to talk about politics, but I'm going to pretty much keep it on woke Hollywood and their divisiveness. And I don't want to, again, anybody's welcome here. You really are. I don't care who you vote for. As long as you're for free expression and you understand that we're going to disagree with each other and not everything has to fall on partisan lines. And we really need to break that kind of thinking because I think that's what's led us down a really bad road right now. And without a doubt, I think there's one party that's failed its people, and I think it's losing a lot of its own people right now. And maybe we need a third party someday. I don't know. I don't have these answers. I am just a guy who got kicked out of 3 high schools and owned a comic shop, who has a microphone, tries to do the best I can, and I thank you all for being here. Thank you, Lady Grandmaster, for producing the show. Thank you, Eric K., for doing a great job as a wrench, as usual. I don't know if we had anybody else here. Is it just Eric K. again? Okay. Eric, you're a beast, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. It cannot be easy being the only one wrenching. I know Nyla Shadow comes in and Mark Lozette is back there too. And there's Douglas Nielsen. So thanks, buddy. All right. Thanks again, everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you heard. If you didn't like what you heard, well, I'll try better next time. Or not. But remember, yesterday was Hobbit Day. So I hope you had a happy Hobbit Day on Bilbo and Frodo's birthday. That was pretty cool. And the next Nerdrotic Nooner will be on Monday at noon. See you then. Not all who wander are lost.
Nerderotic.com.